Oh, my phone's ringing. Yo, what's up? Nah, I'm filming that review for the Model 29. Yeah, I finally got it back and I got to the range a couple times with it. Hey, I got this cool idea for the intro. I was thinking I could do like the, this famous scene from Dirty Harry where he stops the bank robbers and everything and he says that line. Yeah, I was thinking I could use that for my intro. Maybe find a suit or something. What do you mean I shouldn't do that? What do you mean everybody else has already done that? Oh, so you're saying because Hickok 45 did it, I can't do it? Fine. Whatever. See ya. Punk. Alright, so today we are reviewing the Smith & Wesson Model 29-10 Classic Series. Now the Classic Series is basically Smith & Wesson deciding to reproduce some of their firearms from the past that they had come out with and produce them again so that we could once again enjoy them. I happen to have the Model 29 here with the 6.5-inch barrel blued, and if you need to know why that particular firearm happened to be popular, then there's probably a series of movies that would really make your day if you happen to watch them. So, taking a look at the gun, it comes obviously with its basic blue case that really looks good in your storage closet along with the rest of them, but it also helps for if you're taking the gun to the range and you don't happen to have a case. But the one outstanding thing is it comes with a wooden display case. It's actually a really nice case, wood, made in America, real nice finish on the top. It is lined and it's got cutouts for the gun, the cleaning rod, the brush, the screwdriver. Really looks nice. Is a nice presentation piece for, if you're putting the gun on display. Looks good on a coffee table. I have it in a lit cabinet, so it's really a nice touch to add that in. But we're not here to review the case or anything. We're here to review the gun. So we're going to take the gun out of its case and put that aside. So, Smith & Wesson Model 29-10. Now, with it being their classic series, there are a few things that are different from the original Model 29s. Now, obviously, the Smith & Wesson used to pin their barrels, recess their cylinders, stuff like that, and the firing pin used to be on the hammer. Because this is modern, they did not put the firing pin on the hammer. Well, not that big a deal. A little bit more longevity, I guess you could say, because they do, it's a stronger build doing it that way. And the pin, there is no pin barrel. They are crush fit like all modern Smith & Wesson revolvers. Not that big a deal, but, it would have been neat to see them follow through with the old production methods, but, it's what it is. The cylinder is not recessed either. If you can see, the cylinders or the chambers are not recessed. But they mainly did that back in the day when cartridges weren't as reliable and you had to worry about malfunctions and misfires and things like that. They wanted the cartridge completely in the cylinder. And now with modern ammunition, you really don't have to worry about that as much. So, not that big a deal. The sights are pretty much what you would have expected. Red in the front, and then they give you adjustable rear for windage. Really nice. They're real nice sights. No night sights or anything, but it's what would have been on the gun and what you would expect to be on the gun. They are, of course, both changeable. You can knock out the roll pin in the front, and this unscrews. Trigger is exactly what you would expect. The trigger is really nice on these guns, both in single and double action. It is quite smooth. Basically a pretty good representation of the original gun. Now the grips, they did do the original wood checkered grips. I've seen older Smith & Wesson grips, and then I've seen these, and it would appear like the checkering in the older ones is deeper. I don't know if maybe that's just, you know, because of the finish or for whatever reason, but, you know, basically the same exact grip. So, you know, a really nice touch. What I don't like about it, pretty much the only thing I don't like about it when comparing it to an original is I don't like the key lock. It is kind of a shame to see that on there. You know, I'm sure there's legal reasons that they have to put them on there, but, you know, it would have been nice to see a delete option for that. But at the end of the day, you don't really notice it. You know, it's a little tiny thing on the side of the gun. I keep the keys locked up in the safe and never intend to use them, so that's that. Let's see. But overall, they really do a nice job on the finish. Put about 100 and some rounds through it, which for a normal review, I'd put a lot more ammo through it. But obviously, 44 Magnum is not the cheapest thing on the planet, so I took it to about 100 rounds before deeming it reviewable, I guess you could say. Put about 100 rounds through it, and it shoots beautifully. Because of the longer barrel, recoil, even with full 44 Magnum, is very manageable. 44 Special is pretty much, it's like shooting 38 Special. I mean, there's, you know, it's very, very nice. You know, if you're handing this to someone who hasn't necessarily shot a lot of bigger bore revolvers, and you hand them a 44 Special, they're going to have no problem at all managing it. So I would definitely, you know, I wouldn't be afraid to hand this to somebody just starting out. Maybe not their first gun they shoot, but, you know, maybe down the line after they get the hands of things, you know, definitely something you can manage no problem at all with 44 Special. Let's see. So the bluing, everything is real nice. You know, I've heard people talk about the bluing, some of the bluing coming off on certain guns after shooting it. I guess, you know, they've had issues. I've not had that issue. You know, like I said, 100 rounds in, and most of them 44 mag, and the bluing is all there, and the finish is perfect. You know, I had some issues in the beginning when I first purchased the gun, and I did a whole series on that, and I'm not going to really reference that because even though I still stand by what I said in those videos about the quality control issues of Smith & Wesson, you know, at the end of the day, all companies get lemons, and obviously I got a lemon, and while I still to this day state that this gun should have never left the factory in its original condition, the state of which the gun has come back to me is, you know, beautiful. So while I am still disappointed, I'm not reviewing the gun based on that experience, because otherwise the review would pretty much just be me saying, hey, you know, Smith & Wesson sucks, don't buy it. And that's not the case. I mean, you know, like I said, they may have some quality control issues, but certainly, you know, certainly not anything that you should completely write them off for. Now, as far as carrying this, you know, I know a lot of people, if you look on the forums, they all want to carry a 44 mag, and they all want to be Dirty Harry. So, as far as carrying this, you get some people that sit there and they'll tell you they're crazy. Well, I brought out, for review, or for looking at, this is my Ruger GP100 with the 6-inch barrel. Now, I carry this all day long in a shoulder rig, a varsity leather shoulder rig that I did a review on, and you can carry it all day long, no issues at all. This gun weighs 45 ounces. You know, it's a fairly chunky gun, overbuilt gun, great gun, awesome gun. This, the 29, is only 47 ounces and only slightly wider as far as dimensions. You know, obviously it's bigger because it's a 44 mag, but side by side you can see there's really not that much of a difference. So if you really wanted to carry this, you know, I would say your only option is going to be a shoulder rig, obviously. You know, I really don't see, if you want to try and attempt that on your belt, by all means, I would suggest getting the shorter barrel version. But, you know, as far as carrying it, I would say go for it. If you want to get the shoulder rig for it and you want to have a 47 ounce gun on your side, then go for it. You know, I don't carry this particular model because for me this is sadly kind of delegated itself to being a safe queen, but you know, I would definitely not knock anybody for carrying, you know, a 6-inch 44 Magnum. They're beautiful guns and they're extremely reliable. I've not had one issue with them, and you know, I could definitely, if you can't find one of the originals, you know, because they are hard to find, and especially the 6.5-inch barrel version is quite hard to find, thanks to Mr. Eastwood. You know, I would definitely recommend looking at the Classic series because Smith & Wesson really did a nice job on them, and they definitely stand up and have the same fit and finish for the most part as the originals. Like I said, there's, you know, the few things that they did not carry over from the originals, but in large, it's a very nice gun, and I'm extremely happy with it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and have a good day.